If you can stop talking for 10 seconds, that would be fantastic. You want to hit the start timer on there? You want to hit? You want to start podcasting, genius?
What's up, guys? I'm Rae. Actually, I turned 38 at midnight tonight, which means, thank you. That just means I'm getting fucking old, which means I'm dating online now, which is a shit show and a dumpster fire on wheels. What gets me is what people lie about. Like, for example, I'm dating this guy, we start talking a little bit at first, and let's call him Mike, all right? So Mike is a great dude. He's really nice, and all of a sudden, out of the fucking blue, Mike says to me, listen, babe, I'm very big. I wear magnums because I break regular condoms. I don't want to hurt you, so don't be afraid. Now, this guy is so fucking Irish that I swear to God, his balls are like 75% potato, okay? When he nuts, it's going to be like a straight shot of Guinness to the fucking eye. It's going to burn.
Hello, and welcome to Carnival Personnel Sideshow. It is Jacques, and both Biff and Joe are done with my shenanigans because we recorded it earlier today. Or actually, Biff didn't because he really hates me. It was just me and Joe. But I'm doing this sideshow with somebody I've yet to have the pleasure of meeting, but because of a former guest on the show, the great, lives up to the moniker legendary Lloyd Legend Sharp, had posted about this place down in the South Shore that I've been following online for a while, Cube Underground. And it seems like a place I should stop being a whiny little bitch about not wanting to drive and do shows at and get Wayne Russell or sexy Justin George and drive down there and do a show because first of all, it looks like a really fun, cool, supportive place. It is actually trying to help comics who are trying to do more than win open mic bingo. So I reached out to the purveyor of said institution, and she doesn't know me well enough to say, sure, I'll do your podcast. So before she realizes this is a complete waste of time, a big Carnival personnel welcome for Rae Brain from Cube Underground. Hello, Rae.
Hey, how are you? Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
I'm very, very good. So we'll get right into it. What is your favorite racial slur?
Oh, well. Fantastic.
Okay. All right. Fine. Why do you do comedy? An easier question.
Oh, yeah, that's such an easy question. Trauma. I have a history. I got a Boston father. There's so many reasons to pinpoint. But no, I do comedy. Honestly, I knew back. So I moved around a lot. I was born in Tennessee, believe it or not, but most of my family's from here. The rest is from Vegas. So we moved all the time. Like every year we moved.
Wait. So asking you your favorite racial slur being from Tennessee, there's a possibility you might have answered it.
No. That's fantastic. No, when I was in Hanover, because we came back here a few times, but I was in Hanover Middle School and we went to Camp Wind in the Pines, and it was like a 1 week. But because we moved every year, I didn't have a lot of friends, and I was undiagnosed autistic at the time. So I was the kid that was walking down the halls reading the book, not hitting anything, but like just nose in the book. So I didn't know a lot of people. So they had us do this lip sync battle, and you would get together with 3 or 4 friends and you would do a lip sync song. And nobody was really lip sync. It was just like, doing their little dances and stuff. Now, I didn't have any friends at that time, so I had to go up by myself, and I was the only kid to go alone. So they put me last, like everyone's going to get it out of their system, and then we'll just let her go and be done. But I got into it. I did Gloria Estefan's Rhythm Is Gonna Get You. And like nobody knew me because I was the quiet nose in the book kid. And all of a sudden I just got into it, and I'm like crawling on the floor, rolling around, doing the rah. And bro, halfway through, somebody turned the lights off, and all the kids turned on their flashlights that everybody was required to have, and made this like impromptu laser light. Bro, I was addicted from the 6th grade. Like, it was not, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just knew I wanted to be on a stage and I wanted people laughing at me. So that when I got to Vegas back in 2008, 2007, the Dill Star Productions company did a little casting call for a show that they were doing on the Strip called Joey and Maria's Comedy Italian Wedding.
Oh,
And
yes.
yeah, yeah. So I started off. I went and I did that show, and I happen to have a very thick South Shore accent. Like, it's not a Boston accent. People are always like, "That's not what they sound like in Boston." Yeah, I'm aware. Maybe Winthrop. I got family in Winthrop that sounds like me, but I live literally right on the back door of Cava. A lot of us sound like this. But when I went to do the audition, they specifically wanted people that could do a Boston accent. And I'm like, "Oh, brother, I gotcha." So they had me do a little audition. Like they said, pretend you're in a Blockbuster and somebody's being annoying. So I just start yelling like I'm yelling at your
So
kids in the
great.
supermarket. It was phenomenal. I
Well,
got on the
somebody has
show.
to. Somebody really
Right.
should. Some public service.
I'm saying. So I got on the show, and initially I was just a bit part. First night, I was a bit part. And the response to my character was so big that on the second night, they bumped me up to the comedic lead, which was the maid of honor, which was insane. And that show, as much as it's not stand up, that was where I figured it out. JP Raniola was one of my cast members. He played my Louisa's love interest, Rocco. Rocco. I can't remember his last name, but Louisa Ravioli's boyfriend, Rocco. He is such an amazing dude, wicked nice guy. Still follow him on Instagram. But JP Raniola told me, he's like, dude, I listened to your improv at the tables. He goes, have you ever done stand up? I'm like, no. He goes, I'm gonna take you out one night. He's like, put you on a microphone, give you a topic, and just say go. And I didn't do it then, but a few years later, when I moved to Wisconsin, I missed I missed making people laugh, and I missed doing that. So I just did it, and it was awesome. And I haven't stopped doing it. But when I got to Boston, I like when I moved back to Boston a few years ago, about 3 years ago, I was big. Like I started really getting out there. Frank Mergolo put me on one of his shows at the Comics, which was fun. Pat Oates was hosting it that night. I love Pat Oates. He's funny. You're right about like the host. Everybody remembers the host. That's a thing. But when I was initially reaching out in Boston, I did I'm not gonna name names, but I did a show, and most people in Boston comedy are amazing, but I got a rough start in Boston. And the person that I went, because I do a particular type of comedy. Like I do storytelling, but I also do comedy songs. And it's not the cheesy ones. Like some of my favorite comedians, Tim Minchin, Stephen Lynch, like their songs, they write them like the jokes. So you're getting that laugh every 15 seconds. Like you work hard to make the songs actually funny and stand on their own. Well, I ended up doing a competition 3 years ago, and the host does not like comedy songs, thinks it's like cheating, but still let me go up. I ended up winning the competition. The audience loved it, but this person made the audience do their little clap vote like 5 times to the point where the person that was the runner up apologized. I'm like, dude, I just wanted the stupid trophy. You can have the money. I don't care. So I stopped doing comedy for like 3 years. Danny Bulger. Do you know Danny? Dan
No.
Bulger. Dan Bulger, amazing. He's such a good comic, and he's getting big right now. But Danny Bulger was there, and he pulled me aside, and he's like, hey, he goes, I watched the way that song goes. He goes, do you write it like stand up? Do you write it to get it? I'm like, yeah, I write the jokes into it because I want it to be funny the whole time. He's like, just keep doing it. He goes, but he gave me advice. He told me to stop doing mics in Boston because there is, I guess, a little bit of a prejudice for the comedy songs, and that's okay. Everybody's got the stuff they like, the stuff they think is hacky, whatever. But I work really hard on him, and what he told me to do, and another comic actually gave me the same advice, but what he told me to do was work on my own special, right? Like do the thing, help comedians, build relationships, but work on my own special so that I can take an hour and do several of my songs
Yeah.
and my stories and then get the whole picture out to people. So that's the process I'm in right now. There's a place in Las Vegas, the Ahern Center. Ryan Ahern is one of my he's like family to me. I love this man so much. His whole family became like a second family when I was living in Vegas doing comedy. I worked for Ahern Rentals as well, but they run the Ahern Center. They have this incredible comedy club venue in there now with like 8K cameras built in. So once it's done being written, I'm in the process now. That's where we're gonna film it. So I'll let you know when that happens. I'm still in the process. I need to finish like 3 more songs before I'm ready. But that's how I got into comedy. That's why I'm not huge in the Boston scene. But about 6 months ago, I decided I wanted to actually just do it again and start testing the stories at the very least. And when I started going out to mics, it was kind of the same thing with the singing. So I'm like, you know what, let me just see if I can do my own. Because I had these shows that I wanted to produce as well, the dive bar dating game, Stupid Scary, and I needed a venue to hold those. So I ended up getting in contact with the people at the Cubist Circle, which is a restaurant in Weymouth, and they have this little venue underneath that was perfect. So I negotiated it with them to build a comedy club down there, and that's kind of how the Cube Underground started. Was I wanted it to be a place where we had a couple of different options for people where you have the option of doing the 5-minute mic, which is just regular comedy, whatever, but you also have the option of the 10 minutes so that you can do long form comedy. You can test longer bits. Because you're right, a lot of people have a tight 5 that they've been doing at every club for the last 3 years of their life. And that's great, but in order to do a special or in order to do a show or in order to even just feature somewhere, you need to be able to do several minutes of that, right? So you got to stack those 5 minutes on top of each other. And I wanted that to be a place where it's literally, I know this is so cheesy because everybody always says this, but I wanted an actual comedy club that was built by comics for comics. So I would always ask you when you come in to the Cube, I would be like, hey, if they like, this is what we have here. So I have note cards. This came from an idea from a comedian. If they forgot to bring their notebook or whatever, and they thought of a great joke while they're sitting there waiting to go up, I put note cards out every night with, pen or whatever, just to be like, hey, if you think of anything, take the note card, jot it down, keep it with you. There's been some really good jokes people have written because they grabbed a note card, wrote it down, and went up. So, like, I think Harlan did that, Harlan Williams. But we tried to listen to feedback and then incorporate that. That's why we ended up getting the phone stand so I can record people and email it to them. I'm so terrible at that, by the way, the timing. I'm just so slow. But I do eventually try to get it out. But we try to send like whatever little things that people think of, like, oh, this would make it easier. Oh, this would make it better. We try to incorporate that. And Lisa Jean, actually, Theriault, she really funny woman. She and her mom, Sue Theriault, also so funny. They've come out to the open mic a few times and they suggested like a workshop. So that's something that I'm in the works with, is to like maybe we get there an hour early and everybody sit down, we can kind of workshop some jokes and then do the mic after. So that's kind of what it was. It was just, I wanted it to be a place where you didn't feel like you were just doing the same thing over and over and you felt free. There's been times where people just walk up, have no idea what they want to say, and just try new things off the cuff because it's very supportive. And that's the most beautiful thing about it, is there has not been a single night that we have had since January when this started where I was ever like, ugh. Not once. Everybody has been amazing. The comics have been way funnier than I deserve. Like just really funny people showing up. And it's just been amazing, like meeting people, and it has restored my faith in the comedy community because everybody has been just so incredibly supportive and just so on board with the other side projects, like the dating game show that I started. That was incredible. And a lot of that was like I brought comedians on to do that first show. That was awesome. So like Alan Pickett was he was our winner on the first show. Really funny guy, and that was just a great experience, but because of the club. So that's how I got into it, and that's what we're doing now.
That is fantastic. Yeah, there's somebody else who I've just seen is doing the game show things, and it sounds, and for somebody who absolutely loves game shows.
Yes.
Like when my best friend Joe comes over, if my manager goes out of town or his, we'll get together and we'll just watch like 8 hours of the Newlywed Game from like 1974, type
Yes.
stuff.
Yup. That's my
Cannot
guilty
get it.
pleasure.
Not get enough of it.
All of those matchmaking games from like the 70s and 80s, that was my guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to bring that experience. And the coolest part about this, not to plug, but like the coolest part about this.
This is why you're on the podcast. See, the way podcasts work, Ray, is you have a
plug. Well, let me plug. So I'm so excited about this show. It's so much fun because I wanted it to feel like the old game shows where like you were at home, you were watching the audience, and they brought the little boop, 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 like vote for who you think they should date. So what happens with the Dive-By dating game show is I have this big pink box and I put it out on the stage, and then the dater goes inside the box and they get hidden from the potential matches. So then I pull out 3 potential matches. Those people will now go through a few question rounds. But what's amazing about this concept is the audience logs in with their phones. I have a little QR code and they take their phone, take a picture, log in. They get to submit questions live during the show that I will then ask in the final round. I will only ask like audience questions. That can be fun. But at the end, the audience then gets to vote who they think the person should choose of the 3 potential matches. This is where it gets fun. Before the audience votes, I ask you, like if you're the dater, I say, okay, who do you think you want to date? They say person A. I bring person A on stage. Now I ask the audience, lock in and tell me who you think this person should date. Once they vote, if they vote the same person, beautiful. Now we do the final question. And if you guys want to go on a date, you get your little $25 gift card, have your little mini date, phenomenal. If the audience chooses someone else for you, now you have a conundrum. You can take your person and take the 25, or we'll double it if you want to take the audience's advice. So after they make their decision to keep their person or go with the audience, then the person they chose gets to ask one single question of the dater. And at the end, if they both want to go on the date, they get their prize, they get their date, hooray. If they don't want to go out with each other, the dater gets $12.50 to buy a drink and drown their sorrows. But it is a blast. It was such a fun night. And sight unseen, with almost zero marketing, we had like 60 people show up, which I know that doesn't sound like a lot to people. I was very excited. It was a good first night.
No, that is awesome. And it's funny because recently I brought a big pink box up on stage and the venue said I can't have hookers in the room, so she had to go. Well, that concludes this episode. No, that sounds like a really fun, yeah, no, I would love to be a contestant on that, but the same reason my wife says I can't have dating apps, she's like, you are happily married. No, it was that, but it sounds like a fun, because I love, like, when my buddy Joe comes over, there's nothing more we love than watching those shows.
Oh, it's so much fun. And people got into it. Like, I'm working on editing the videos right now so I can start releasing it and showing what the show is. That way we can do the next one, because I have almost everybody cast for the next episode. We need one more guy. So if you're single, but I am gonna put that out soon so that people can see kind of what happened that first episode. I just suck at editing, so I have to figure that out. But I'm doing it all myself, so that'll be fun. But that will come next, and then we'll do the next episode. And then the only issue we're having right now, I'm going to show you how the sausage is made, is the venue that we've been at for all this time just recently got sold to a new owner. I'm told, so I'm told that they still want to do comedy, but I haven't talked to them yet. So in the interim, we've actually created this really great relationship with the Sons of Italy in Braintree. So that is where the Cube Underground is being held right now. We have Thursday nights, doors open at 6:30, mic is at 7:30. So it's just about I think there's one Thursday in June that they have something booked. I'll put it up on the website. But for right now, that's where we're at. Hopefully, once the sale goes through, we'll be back at the Cube in Weymouth. But I'll put everything up on the website.
Wow, you have taken on a number of great undertakings.
That's not even my favorite. My favorite is, so there's this is so crazy because it's the one I've wanted for like 5 years, and I just because of the Cube and meeting Matt Harris, who is a very brand new comedian on the South Shore, very funny guy. He got me in touch with a woman. I'm not even sure if I'm supposed to say who yet, but he got me in touch with a woman who is a paranormal investigator, Christy Parrish. She's incredible, just such a sweet woman. And she's a medium. She does paranormal investigation. She works with like people from the Travel Channel when they do the haunted shows out here. She's filming one of her own pilots right now for a show called The Walk. I'm not going to go into detail on that, but you should definitely check it out. It sounds amazing. But I told her about my concept, and this is the show that I'm working on right now. This is one of the reasons I bought the van too. It's called Stupid Scary. You can follow it on stupidscary.com, but it's called Stupid Scary, and what it is it's a paranormal investigation show crossed with kind of like a late night talk show where we bring on local comedians from wherever we're doing the haunt. And it's literally an interview about the comedy of those local comedians happening while we're doing a paranormal investigation. And from what I've heard from Christy, she loves the idea because when you laugh and you joke around and you have like that merriment and that fun atmosphere, that makes spirits kind of want to come out. Now, I don't know if I believe or don't believe, but that's why I wanted to do the show, because I absolutely love shows like this. And I also think that there is a lack of, like, you used to have the late night shows, and every week you'd have new comedians. Like, you get to almost every night you get to see a new comic. They would feature new comedians, and you don't really see that anymore. You got the bigger shows, but unless you know somebody or you become big somehow or you get brought on there, you're not really seeing like the Mitch Hedbergs, you know what I mean? Like, you got to see him when he was still nervous and brand spanking new, and then you got to see him evolve. And I feel like there's kind of a hole that doesn't really fill anymore. And this isn't exactly that, but this is a nice way where every place that we go to do a haunted location, I bring on 2 or 3 local comedians and literally just interview them and joke around and, have a smoke and get a little goofy and then have a conversation. So that's the project I'm working on right now that I'm stupidly excited about.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because I'm a bad person when because I don't know. I mean, I'm an atheist, but I don't know if I do or don't believe in ghosts. I think I do in different realms and different dimensions. But I'm kind of obsessed with trying to find out if Casper the Friendly Ghost was a Make-A-Wish kid. And I don't know if that makes me a bad person
That
or not.
forehead, I think you might have been.
I mean, look, if every kid pulls through, there is no Casper. So, haunted glass half full, I'm thinking.
Right? Yeah.
But most of these haunting things are from horrific deaths, like, horrific, podcasts, true crime podcasts my wife is obsessed with, which is red flag. Like if you listen to that many crime things, this is how they fucked up. Okay, I got to make sure I don't do that.
Right.
But they're from horror things. You never hear either way, I don't want to see the prequel to Casper because it doesn't have a Hallmark happy ending. It's like The Fault in Our Stars or some,
You never get the haunting like Susie died of laughter.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. Wow. Yeah. Well, you talked earlier. You were a former 911 dispatcher. Have you ever dispatched authorities because somebody was laughing too hard? Have all the calls,
No, but honest to God, I thought I was going to die one night. The edibles had hit just right, and I was giggling about something, but I was with a couple comedians, and I started laughing so hard that I could not breathe. And I'm like, I started to panic. I don't know if you've ever been in that situation where you're laughing, but you truly do not want to be laughing. Like, I was telling my body, stop it. You need air. I thought I was going to die in that moment. And finally I came out of it, but it made me Google, and that's a thing. Like, that's a thing that I can genuinely have. That's the scariest thing I've ever heard. You could die of laughter.
That is awesome. This is going back many years, 30 years. A friend of mine worked at the Improv and outside of LA in Irvine, and my favorite of all time, Brian Regan, was there. One of the people in our party the show had to be stopped because he was laughing. He couldn't, and he's a bigger gentleman who, with the biggest laugh, and he like Brian Regan was literally like he had to wait. He had to wait for the, and he wasn't. It was kind of a bit. He made it fun, but this guy literally could not.
I love that.
Oh, it was one of the yeah. It really was because but that sounds like you have 19 oars in the water all at once.
It's ridiculous. I know, man. I understand how crazy it sounds, but it seems to be working, and I've got the, I don't know, I've got the drive to do it right now. So we'll see what happens, and who knows if it's going to be any good when it comes out, but we're going to do one, see how it goes, put it out in the world, and then if they like it, they like it. If
So
they don't, okay.
do you play an instrument as well, or do you sing to a track?
I think. No, so I got hit in the head with a baseball bat when I was a kid, and I have some issues from it, but one of the weird things, and I don't know if it's from that, but I don't have as much control over my left hand. So I've tried to learn instruments, but like if you play guitar or whatever, you use your left hand for the chords. I can't control these fingers to make them move the way I want to all the time. So it's a pain in the butt. They work. I can use my hand like normal. It's just something about the fine when it gets into it. So I've struggled with that. So what I learned to do was just make tracks with GarageBand. Thank you,
Nice.
Apple. Yeah.
No, I have no musical ability at all, which is why I've been a drummer in a band for 37 years. I can count to four.
Drummers are crazy. I won't even hear that. That's
Oh.
the stuff you guys can do. I just look like, what?
No, I like I'm not a drummer. I can count to four fast or slow, and that's it. When you see real drummers, it's like, oh, I've been doing that 37 years. He's been doing it for 2, and he's a lot better than me. It's like, and I'm okay with that. Like, we are not like, the band Tool or everything that I do. It's just fine. Like I can play every song and the Buffalo Tom or Oasis catalog, and that's really all I need to be able to do to keep up. But yeah, it's well, that sounds like amazing. Now, how long will it take to write the last 3 songs to finish off the project?
Oh God. Well, see, now isn't that the most amazing question you could ask? Because with the comedy club, with the dating game show, and with Now Stupid Scary, I need to actually finish those 3 songs. So I'm not sure. I'm hoping that I'll have it finished in the next 6 months. That's my hope. We'll see. That's my hope. I've been putting some of the writing on the back burner, and I feel like a lot of people will feel that in their soul because these other things came up, and they're things that, like, not that the special isn't something that I really, really, really want to do, but these things are also like I'm incredibly passionate about them. And when the opportunity comes up, I have this option like, all right, well, here's a door that just opened up where I can actually do this. Do I do it, or do I say, let's hold on a little bit, let me write some more? Or do I just do it? And I don't know if I'm making the right choice. And I know there's comedians that'll be like, no, it's always just right. But doing the show, I've written more material, and doing the dating game show, I've learned more about people, and I've gotten material from that. So it's 6 and 1/2 dozen of the other. But for right now, I'm hoping in the next 6 months I'll get more writing done so I can finish those 3 songs. But that kind of depends on how these 2 projects go, because these are also my babies. And I feel like I suddenly have this great opportunity. Do I put that down? Because my comedy is great, like that, but that only helps me, as opposed to like Stupid Scary. When that happens, if people like that, that's a little bit of me, but that's also every single location we go. That's 2 or 3 new comics that are going to be smaller that most people probably won't know. And especially if you're watching online from like somewhere else in the country, you definitely won't know. But what's nice is there's haunted locations all over the country. And that's my goal with that, is to kind of travel and find local comics and do the haunted locations and interview those people. So that's the other reason I don't feel quite as bad about pausing the writing for the special, is because that helps me. But like, if I get Stupid Scary going, that gets a lot of people like a lot of eyes on people that they might not normally have got their eyes on. Does that make sense?
No, 100%. And it's always a balancing act. It's like, life does get in the way of the stuff you want to do. I mean,
Yeah.
that's one big thing. Also, we're all, like you say, on the spectrum dealing with trauma. Of course, you're a comic, but, but it's also, a bit, we all are a bit ADHD squirrel.
Yep. Accurate.
And
something shiny.
And there's so many times I'll be doing a project. So I just agreed to help a couple people with their projects. In part, I'm a very sweet, awesome, just completely supportive, shirt off their back, though nobody wants to see me shirtless kind of guy. At the same time, it's a legit reason why I'm not getting my own shit done.
Right. Right.
So if I take on this project helping this person, well, no, I'm working on my thing, but look how awesome I am helping this person do that. I every year I don't like make resolutions, but I'm like, here are some goals I like to do. Here's some things. And a lot of it I can't get done, but I like to okay, I would like to do X this, to kind of give myself benchmarks. But I wanted to finish a project with a self-imposed deadline. And I came out of the gate strong, was doing great. And then exactly what it's like, well, I'm helping, microtropists do these shows. It's like, oh, well, I'm helping run these classes now. And what a great guy. I'm helping run these classes, all this. And then so I end up pulling another comic in on a project to hold me accountable. Like, it's like, okay, they wanted to get together once a week to do this. I have to have my homework done to live up to my end of the bargain. So I kind of made it their project that I was now helping on so I could finish my.
I'm kind of doing that.
Oh, right.
Yep, Scott Machado. I love you, friend. He's a great newer comic as well, but he's going to be helping me with the dive bar dating. He does not like the ghosts. So he's going to help me with the dive bar dating game show as we start to move forward with that. He's going to be on the next one with me. So I love that. That's good. I'm going in the right direction.
Yes. And it's, and the other thing is all these things are fun.
Yeah.
And, there's no bad choices,
yeah.
And again,
I'm having a blast with all of it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, the shows, if you had told me 10 years ago that what I go like, when my buddy Mike, Mic'd Up Comic, does like the drag shows he puts on, I'll go and help. Oh my God, so much fun. Yeah. And I cannot believe the number of times my wife in the past have been like, her and her friends are going to drag show. You should come. It's a lot of fun. It's like hard pass. Hard pass. But because it's a work thing, I had to go. Like there was one time I had to go.
Yeah.
Bring the stage.
I love drag brunch. My friend and I go all the time.
Well, I now do.
Yup.
Because it is so much fun.
Oh, Dino drag brunch was awesome.
But that's the thing. It's like, okay, so yeah, I'm taking 6 hours out of my day on Sunday and I could and should be doing this writing thing, but I'm helping do this thing. And, and if I go help and do that, then, I can bring a couple friends and my wife will bring her friend and have a great time. And it's like, well, that's $100. Like what it would cost for them to have paid because I'm working it. It's like, okay, so I justified but there's also that part. It's like, now you have an excuse for not finishing this. You know what I mean? No. You're not a lazy piece of shit. You're really being productive. Just another way. You know what I mean? But and then a week later, I'll be like, or a month later, I'm like, God damn it, I was supposed to finish that. So
yeah.
So no, I completely get it. But all these projects sounds fun, and I'm just so glad. Like there are people in this community who are trying to open doors for others, and that you have these mics, and that you have these game shows with the goal of looping people in.
Right. That's what it's all about, honestly. Like it was so I mean, I had run the gambit of the spectrum. I had a really negative experience followed immediately by an incredibly uplifting experience. Like Dan Bolger is always going to be one of my favorite human beings because he pulled a newer Boston. I may have been doing comedy in Vegas, but that's a different thing. Doing it here in front of new people, especially in my hometown, it's a different beast. And to have someone that had been doing it for a long time, even just pull me aside and take a moment to be like, hey, look, I see you. I see what you did with that song. Like, that was good. That kept me from just being like done with doing it at all. And that's who I try to emulate. Somebody like that with other comics. And so whatever I can do, like, yes, I would like it to get me out there in front of people as well, obviously, but I don't want to do it by myself. Like, I like having other people around me, and I like orbiting around funny people. And honestly, God, the reason I do the open mic thing is like I never wanted to be a host. I'm decent at it, but I don't like it. I get so nervous doing it. But I love other comedians, and I'm the one laughing with the dorkiest laugh. Literally every comic goes up, and I find something to giggle hysterically at. I just like comedy. I really genuinely enjoy the hell out of it. So I get something from it too, even just hanging out.
Oh,
like I'm gonna smoke a little
100%.
weed and hang out with comedians. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh no.
There's a bigger booker, and my friend Justin, we talk about it. My friend Wayne talk about it. Like, you do one of his shows, and you'll open your feature, and he'll come over after. It's like, hey, that was a great show. So we'll see you soon. And it's like he doesn't understand why we're like, we're not leaving. Wait, do I have to leave? He can't understand. But it's like, dude, there is nothing on the 91 streaming services we pay for that's funnier than Steve Bjork, who's headlining tonight. Mike Trowbridge, any go down the list, or the features. You know what I mean? It's like, why would I leave this? Or even
so much fun.
Well, even the mics. It's like, hey, there's 18 people on this mic, and you're 12th.
Yeah,
dude, where are you really going? That that you can't stick around the next half hour and hear the other 6 people who just listened to you. Right. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to hear a couple really awful people, and you're going to be like, why did I have to sit through this? And but you're going to hear somebody say something, and they're going to come in on a joke a different way than you would have. And you're going to be like, oh, my joke about this, I can see what they did there, and I'm going to try. Or you might find somebody who's hysterical, and you're going to hang out with, and 3 years later, you're in a goddamn text message group with the 4 of them, and you can't fucking get off of it because you'll be rude, and they fucking text 109 times a day. But they're the greatest, funniest people that I met because I either they hung out after I went on, or they went on, whatever. Yeah. But my friend, Wayne and Anthony and Justin, and now our friend Dan, like, we got on this text group just because we didn't know each other. We like Wayne and Anthony were friends, but now these are guys that every single day, because we stayed at the mic after, because we talked to each other after about, oh, this bit that you did there, I was trying to do that with my bit, I couldn't make it work, and I see what you did, and that was great. Or hey, but just that there is this amazing community.
100%. And the conversations after the mic have been some of the best of my life. I came up with a whole new bit that is probably one of the funniest things I've ever written, and it's way too dirty for this. But Tajay Kata, Jonathan Rollins, and Sue Theriault, and I think Lisa Jean, we were just hanging out after the mic talking, and I'm like, he said something, and I just kind of riffed off of it, and then I'm like, that's kind of similar to a joke I was thinking of. So then I tried it out, and we just cracked up, and I'm like, those conversations where you're just goofing around with other comedians, literally, hanging out with that like hanging on the couch with your friends after high school type of feeling.
Yes.
That's the best part about comedy. That's more fun than, and I love being on stage. Like I love the microphone in my hands, but I love sitting on the couch with the comics after even more. Like that's my favorite part.
When I played hockey, it's a really weird thing. Yes, you like getting the pats on the back if you score a goal. Right. But my favorite thing, and this is kind of going into the weeds, like if I could get somebody to chase me behind their net, and I'm going left to right, and the goalie's following me post to post, thinking I'm going to wrap around or come out the other side, and it's a move I saw on a video with Gretzky 1,000 times, put it behind my back, and the person now is in front, taps it into an open net. I'm standing behind the net, watching their goal go in that I passed to. And that feeling of like, I just made this happen, but I'm also a spectator in this. It's the same feeling I get if I workshop a friend's joke
Yeah.
and it kills for them. And
Yeah.
it's funny because
Oh God, yeah.
yeah, my buddy Joe,
I
who
love that.
I do this podcast with, every headline comic who's come on the show when he co-hosts the show with me will halfway through the podcast be like, Joe, why aren't you doing this? You were so much funnier than Jacques. And I'm honest with everybody. It's like the first 2 years of doing this, if I got, 4 laughs in a 5-minute set, Joe wrote 6 of those jokes. There should, I mean, literally wrote all of them,
Yeah.
and he is the funniest person. But that's a fun thing is, I've referenced this on this podcast 1,000 times. Two of the friends, Wayne and Anthony, we were in a comedy contest together, which I hate a comedy contest. But the night before, we were all punching up each other's jokes. And each one of those jokes killed. And the feeling, it was never, it's like, well, now he's going to move on. It was legitimately, if any of us move on, it's a win for the 3 of us.
Yes. Yep. Because you worked on it together. Yeah. No, I love that feeling. Yeah.
And my buddy Wayne and I moved on to the finals. He finished top 3. I would not have been happier had my name been called that night and I was top 3. I legit don't believe I would have been happier. But that's a community. And like I said, now, with all the, Micah Trope is having here's the stand-up path and here's this hosting path. And there's this umbrella email with about 8 of us who on New Year's or on Valentine's Day, 5 or 6 of us are hosting different shows for him around New England. And it's this whole community that he cultivated that are all these great people that really are this supportive network. And so when I go to, help Mike with his comedy classes, I tell all the people, it's like, you guys from day one should exchange each other's phone numbers, start a text chain or an email chain, and just, you might be surprised, like in 3 years from now, like you're still, it will help you stay in it after you go through the graduation if you want to. And it's like, but it's the people that you get to know in this, and what a cliche that is. So,
but you know what? Cliches are cliches because they come from some kind of truth.
Right.
And that is the best part. In my opinion, the best part about doing comedy is hanging out with comedians. Like, that's the coolest part.
Somebody once says there's no people like showbiz. No people. Anyways, okay, so I'm going to, wrap it up so you can get on with the rest of your important life. But is there anything coming up in June that people should be aware of?
Just in June, we're going to be doing our Thursday nights at the Sons of Italy. I'm still in talks with the new owners, hopefully soon, of the venue that we were at. But just, you can follow all of our stuff. I have to fix it. I got to actually add the info. Hopefully by the time this is out, I will do that. But it's thecubeunderground.com. I'll post all the dates there.
And it's the Cube Underground on the socials?
Yeah, it's the Cube Underground on the socials as well. And then mine is just Rae Brain Comedy.
And it's RAE.
RAE, yes.
Yes. Just to be clear. And when are you planning on when is the van going to be ready? And will you have a sign that says free candy and puppy? And and when do you hope to have Scared Stupid in production?
Well, honestly, that I'm hoping is in the next 2 months. I'm waiting literally right now on the first location. Hopefully, I'm going to text Christy this week and then we'll see. But as soon as I know, I'll start posting it on the socials because I'm excited for it. And I'm going to need to find, I think I have an idea of some of the local comics I'll bring on for the first episode, but I'm still open to people that want to do something like this. So, if you want to, reach out. Let me know if you're into the paranormal stuff.
That is fantastic, and I will be your hey, where are those other 3 songs periodically to kind of
thank you. I need that.
But above all that, the most important thing is don't forget.
Sweet little girl, rest assured that she's not just horny. All she really needs is a special friend to fuck. I feel increasingly pathetic. You're everything's fine.